Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bat Games. I'm your host, Joseph, and today we're going to talk about, in the era that is games and services, why cross platform play has become more and more important. A conversation that, ever since Minecraft announced at E3, that whether you play on phone, your mobile phone, your Switch, your PC, on Xbox One, you'll be able to play with each other across devices. It's gotten people asking, why hasn't this come sooner? Why can't this be the future of where consoles truly go? Why can't I play Minecraft on my Xbox 360 and why can't I play it with my friends on the PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4? Why can't that be a possibility? We see devs come out, whether it's the dev team on Ark, the dev team on Rocket League, even on Fortnite, saying, we can do this. It's literally almost like a flip of a switch, and we'll be able to connect PS4 players with Xbox One players. You know, Fortnite, another great example of they accidentally, we don't know if it's an accident or not, made crossplay available for a few short hours. Players were seeing people who were like on PlayStation 4 seeing Xbox One players in their lobbies. You know, people with underscores, you can't have underscores as a PS4 player. People would look them up on Xbox.com and their gamer tag would show up and they would just realize, holy shit, I just played with someone on Xbox. And so it's gotten this whole conversation talking about, who does this help? Why does it matter so much? And who's hindering the progress? So, first, why does it matter? Who does it help? It helps three types of people: consumers, devs, and indie devs. And actually, all three of them hold kind of the same reasons as to why it helps. So, if I'm a developer, let's just say I'm a Rainbow Six dev, right? And these aren't accurate numbers. I'm not saying, I'm just spitballing here. On Xbox One, I have 100,000 players online. Now, you might think that's a lot. Maybe it is. But they aren't finding matches easy enough. You know, it's hard to find matches. They're kind of struggling to find lobbies and to find players to play with. Where on the PlayStation 4, there's over 300,000 people playing Rainbow Six Siege right now. They're not, they're able to find lobbies, they're able to find players, they're able to find games to play in. And so as a developer, it would be easier just to take those 100,000 people on Xbox, throw them into one server with the people on the PlayStation 4, and now all of a sudden you have 400,000 people playing in one place, meaning now players are able to find lobbies, find players, find matches easier and faster than ever. That means if your community's happy, they're going to play your game for longer. And when a game is a game as service, that game's supposed to be there for multiple years. Games like Destiny, games like Rainbow Six Siege, games like Overwatch, they need those communities to be happy, to spend money on those microtransactions. And the best way to do that is to make sure that there's people there. And I know that sounds like an easy feat, but when there's new releases in and day out, especially during the holiday season, it's harder and harder. And if you're an indie dev out there, it's even more important that you have a big community with you, because as an indie dev, you don't have the marketing team like Destiny has, or like Overwatch, or even Rainbow Six Siege. You're super small, so every customer matters. So if you put out a game on Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation, and the communities are small, you're on shaky ground already, because then people might not be able to find matches or whatever the case may be and leave your game. But if you're able to put them on multiple platforms and have it in one location where Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation players are able to play with each other, then you have a much different scenario. Now you have a lively community, you have a much bigger community, and people are able to play with each other. That means word of mouth spreads, and you have a scenario like maybe PUBG, where people are coming and playing your game, streaming your game from multiple different platforms. And that is why cross-platform play is so important, because it helps the longevity of games. You much rather have one big community than a fragmented community, and that's what happens when these platforms like PlayStation or Xbox have their own ecosystem. Now, what are the downfalls here? There are really not many, but it's all in the case that Sony just doesn't want to do it. And to me, I can't blame Sony for not doing it on a business aspect, because they're not on the level that Microsoft is or even Nintendo is. They're doing gangbusters. Their console is doing phenomenally well. Every game that comes out, whether it's a first party, second party, third party, sells gangbusters on their console. So the question they say is, what's the benefit for us to do it? Because people are already fighting matches well on our console. We don't need to go out there and make it even better because it's as good as it is right now. It's going to help you, Xbox, because maybe on Rainbow Six Siege, you have a third of the numbers we do, but how does this help us? Most importantly, how are we going to police this community with you? Because, yes, people point out, games like Final Fantasy XIV, you're able to play cross-platform on PC and PlayStation, but we're not talking about two conglomerates. We're talking about one game company and one conglomerate, that is Sony. We're talking about two massive, massive companies, that is Microsoft and Sony, coming together and saying, how are we going to police this? You're talking about two companies with two totally different ideologies who are competing with each other, and now they have to kind of share the burden of, okay, what if an Xbox player is hacking, or what if an Xbox player is mean to a PlayStation player? How are we going to handle this? Who's going to have the power in this relationship? That's what they have to talk about, and I feel like Sony just has such a lead where they're just like, we don't need to because our games are doing well enough as they are alone. So what is this going to take? Maybe Xbox having a more commanding lead. Maybe that makes it so that maybe if it's neck and neck again, they're able to work something out. But even then, I don't see it really happening. It's easy to say if you're Phil Spencer, when people ask you about cross-platform play, oh yeah, I'm for it, because you are in second place. Do have to say the right thing to the gamers. Though whether I believe you or not, you have to say those things. So I would like to see, in the future when Microsoft is top dog again, because again, it's a seesaw. It goes up and down. If they have that same mentality or not. It would be cool to see. And it would be awesome to see gamers come together across platforms playing the same game. To me, it just makes sense because now you have a more lively community. And to me, that means if more people are playing Destiny 2, that means to me more people are shopping at their microtransaction hut. They're buying shaders. That means they're going into your ecosystem. The only thing different is your ecosystem, your marketplaces, and that means more people are spending money at your marketplace. I, to me, think that's a win-win. But hey, I'm not a business tycoon. I'm not a stockholder. And so I think if I was a Sony stockholder, that's the only person that's hesitant because they're thinking, well, how does this affect my bottom line rather than someone's happiness over there at Xbox? That's what you have to think. And sometimes as gamers, we get a little ahead of ourselves. We kind of do hold that hands in the meadow type of like dream world where we have to kind of base it in a business reality sort of thing where these are two companies that whether they're saying nice things to each other, they do compete on the same ground as each other. So again, it's cool to see these things happen. It's cool to see Minecraft be cross-platform. It's cool that even for a couple short hours, Fortnite was cross-platform. Is this the generation where we see cross-platform play? No. I do hope next generation, though, is the generation of cross-platform play because I think how I feel about the situation is, you see PC people, right? You see Intel, you see AMD, and they're always constantly fighting each other, but at the same, stroke of the coin, they're able to play with each other still on Steam, right? Sure, you may have different PC parts, but you're able to still play in the same place. So with that said, that's what I think is awesome about cross-platform play. I think it's the longevity of games, but I know and I want to know how you feel on this issue as well. Do you want cross-platform play? Are you a stockholder at Sony that doesn't want it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know what there's things maybe I miss. Let me know in the comment section down below. Here at Bad Bit Games, it's all about the conversation. So whether it's Nintendo talk, whether it's Xbox talk, PlayStation talk, PC talk, we just love talking about games, whether it's the news, reviews, impressions, unboxings. That's what you can find here. So subscribe. And with that said and all that out of the way, everybody keep your wits about you and have a great day.